I was asked to write on how I write. That steady demarcation of black on white. I suppose your query was not by hand or type, but why I chose this guise, playing loose with my prose. A mix of decisions and provisions, of hurdles, opportunities that have coalesced or disapaced. I decided that I would never let words and their purported realness dictionary definedly confine me. If Shakespeare is so lauded for all he recorded and credits abound for the words he set down, then why should I keep within the bounds of letters as they ought to be, all ordered accordingly? See, I always read aloud, just in my head. The very idea of running your eyes over a wordy surmise and not hearing spoken lyrics unbroken baffles me. It's also clearly hampered me. I cannot read without narrating, and that's mild infuriating, basely confining me to consume text stringently no faster than that voice which is my mind allows me. But I think it also forces me to wend words chorally, to navigate each note I pen orally. If I am forced, the world-consuming, to constantly narrate, I might as well find places where that carries some weight. Not be a hindrance horrendous, but a harmony stupendous, a hymn of declined declensions for me to propagate. Where also my drudging dyslexia won't necessitate I exile in absentia. Where my scribblings won't be held up for the wrong homonyms, misspent commas, or misspelt ostentatia. I've always been caught in a bind of distance between myself and what meaning a page will insist on. I twist my words, I lay them out lengthways, and somehow people still don't get what it all says. I knew what I meant, how did they not? And it's why I write to be spoken a lot. I take some of the base instincts of comedy. Never repeat a word, when its precarious synonym will provide more colourfully. I did learn something from all that schooling, that compliance with assonance produces a resonating song, that artful alliteration is aesthetically alluring, and some things come simply from repeated nights tacked before the machine. When you've graduated from the pen and the sword, the word processor primes you to play with position. The English language is wonderfully reworkable. Language in English reworks wonderfully. Work and your wonderful language English. Never too seriously, never too tight, never repeat or run a mill or run away from the fight. Experiment and play, and don't fear their laughter. Read broadly, listen widely, and write even farther. And you'll make mistakes. You'll look back and self-censure. But you'll have written a line here, a piece there, good ventures. You'll write upon your writings, moving up and moving out, and you'll write yourself to here, with all the life you've writ about. Why did I decide that I should record that in one take? That was horrendous. I'm never doing that again. I hope you enjoyed that, the most out and out poetry video I've ever done. This video wasn't intended to be poetry. I was struggling with it and trying to rework it, and somehow it started being written in verse, and this is what happened. I'm sorry. If you support me on Patreon, you got to hear that a bit early, as I struggled through some early attempts and made some early recordings to try and make myself listen to it over and over again and memorise it. Which I'm sure all of you feel is definitely worth the money you pay for me every month. The other thing I'm now going to open up to my Patreons is an ability to control what I read, sort of. I'm going to give you a huge pile of books, and I'm going to let you pick some of the new ones I read this month. Thanks for watching my video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. This is a book I got given for Christmas after it was originally recommended to me by Sana from Books and Quills, and she recommended it with such love and fervour that it's stuck in my